Good afternoon, Lakers. Aren't you glad to be back for 5 days in a row?
Yeah, it seems like this weather is really turning around. Only a few more days left until it's officially spring.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this warmer weather and swimsuit season.
What?
What? Today, our first story is about the Lakers speech team, making the trip to Lexington for the Kentucky High School Speech League Tournament on the UK campus today and tomorrow. A total of 16 members will represent Calloway County High School, and of course, they're hoping to cap off a great season with more hardware.
The tournament that's coming up at state, and it's a pretty big deal because we've worked all season memorizing scripts and working on stuff.
This one's a lot more difficult because it is the state tournament, so you have the best from the state all coming together. So I feel like it's going to be difficult, but I'm still really hopeful because me and Dylan have been doing pretty good this year.
And this is my senior year, and it's my last opportunity to kind of go out and do the best that I can.
Good luck to the Lakers speech team. Meanwhile, the Calloway County FFA chapter was at it again this week, winning more regional titles and racking up more state qualifiers. This past Monday, a total of 31 Laker FFA members took their ag skills to the regional competition, and 6 of them were declared region champions in their respective areas. All in all, Callaway's FFA chapter has now qualified a total of 17 students for upcoming state competition. Congratulations to the latest regional champions, Ellie Futrell, Jonah Brannon, Erica Rogers, Craig Lamb, Caleb Brannon, and Skylar Hunter.
Each semester, Miss Anderson's English 4 class studies Shakespeare in his iconic play, Hamlet. Once finished, they have what is known as Shakespeare Day. Dakota and myself took a camera and went to investigate.
I think the skull. Oh. I think it will be.
Miss Anderson's English class has recently finished reading Hamlet. To review, they had Shakespeare Day. By participating, they received bonus points. Our very own Mason Cushing even participated. Have a look.
To die, to sleep, no more. To sleep with a chance to dream. And by sleep to say, why up here? All right, Miss Anderson, what exactly is Shakespeare Day?
It's a day that we celebrate Shakespeare and Hamlet, and it's kind of a culminating activity where we get to do fun stuff to say, yay, we finished it.
He also had several insults thrown.
Oh my gosh.
A reddish bull-brain nut hook.
That's not very nice.
Thou, logfish, guts gripping, pig nut!
There was also a bard's bag where the students were required to describe an item from the play.
Yeah, like all the time, I could just carry that everywhere. And then that's also how the queen died.
It got pretty competitive a few times.
How Hamlet got
Easy.
And the queen was making a toast to Hamlet.
And to top it all off, they got
That is one tall cake.
I thought it was going to be really boring until I actually paid attention and she explained it so we could understand it a lot better. And it actually turned out to be really good, so I liked it.
food, fun, and review, all in one. I know I'd enjoy it. Would you? For LakerTV, I'm Dakota Fletch.
After the break, I want to introduce a new segment on our weekly show called Focal Point. Today's question is, how safe are we?
And later on, highlights from this year's Callaway Idol competition.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Heath, Columbine, Virginia Tech, and Sandy Hook. Names made famous by tragic school shootings. But could that ever happen here at CCHS? Today on LakerTV Focal Point segment, our topic is school safety. And here now is producer Tyler Covington.
The tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary has been on the minds of Americans for 2 years. But did you know that 28 students have been killed in various school shootings since that event? Are we, here at Calloway County High School, immune to this kind of violence? We wanted to know if students feel safe here, so we polled 206 sophomores and juniors. We asked if they have ever worried about a school shooting occurring here. 51% of the students said that they have often or sometimes felt that one could happen here. What would make a person want to carry out such an action? Is it provoked by violent video games? Does America need more gun control laws? Producer Will Van Horn takes a look at these controversial issues.
Out of all the issues our country faces, gun control seems to come up the most, and with good reason. For instance, like the Columbine High School massacre, Virginia Tech, and Sandy Hook Elementary School.
I think it's a little unnecessary because as far as the few incidents recently that have caused the policy, I believe that it's not guns that are truly the problem, and getting rid of them or putting a policy on them won't solve the violence that's still going on.
The one thing that seems to come up the most when dealing with gun control are violent video games, with the NRA believing that video games are in fact the problem.
I think video games is a way to take out your anger without having to worry about law enforcement. Games like GTA, you know, you go and you shoot people, law enforcement's going to come after you, but you can easily dodge them or kill them because it's a video game, it's GTA. And by able to do this, you can have less tendencies to try to do it in real life because you've taken out your anger in a game where you have a lot less consequences.
If you or anyone else believes that someone or even yourself might be a potential threat, notify and talk to someone.
Dr. Catherine Newman, a professor of sociology and public affairs at Princeton University, is the author of Rampage, The Social Roots of School Shootings. In her opinion, school shooters often seem to be following a script they have seen before. In her words, "What I mean by a script is that when you look at popular culture, movies, video games, you will see this kind of shoot-'em pathway running through many of them. It's not an original idea of the shooter, it's something that kids are exposed to by the millions. Only a tiny handful become shooters, but this stuff is everywhere. What it tends to reinforce in the shooter's mind is not so much a violent impulse as a template for how to be notorious and alluring and cool as a shooter. And that's really what most of the time they're trying to achieve. They're trying to reverse the reputation from a social loser to a notorious and attractive character in an anti-hero kind of way. Whatever the motivations for these school shooters, school officials across the nation have been searching for new ways to create a safe environment. In our survey, 63% of our students said that our current safety procedures are adequate in case of a shooting situation. In the past months, programs and training have been established to improve response methods in the event of an intruder. When it comes to safety, Principal Randy McCowan says that the faculty and staff are geared to provide the best environment for students.
First and foremost, we want every student, regardless of who they are, where they came from, what their origins are, why they're here, those kind of things. But we want every student to feel safe. We want every person to feel safe that comes into this building, whether it's visitors, whether it's students, whether it's faculty members. We certainly want them to feel like this learning environment is a place they can come and do their very best.
To ensure safety in CCHS, the Board of Education has implemented distinct programs, such as morning bag checks, various locker searches, and even partnering with the police department to develop teacher training programs. In 2013, the Kentucky State Police initiated an effective program to train teachers how to act in a life-threatening event. This program was designed to train faculty and staff to disarm intruders and overall protect students.
One point, we were telling teachers to huddle the kids in a corner, and just like the shooting at Sandy Hook, it's what they call a target-rich environment. If all of your kids are in a corner, then the shooter doesn't have to go far to kill a lot of kids. If they spread out, if they can leave the room, if there's a window to get outside, that's the best thing to do now, is to leave the building.
Safety is a very serious issue here at Calloway County High School. This requires protective programs, trained faculty, and most importantly, cooperating students.
And that's what I've tried to encourage this year more than anything else. We're going to have disagreements. When you put 1,000 people in one place, there are going to be some problems occasionally and some disagreement. let's sit down and talk. Let's find out what the root of the problem is and see if we can solve it.
You know, I know we're at a stage in life when you're in high school where sometimes you don't take things as serious as you should, but it's one thing that you should, because if something ever did happen, you want to know what to do.
Our thanks to Tyler Covington and Will Van Horn for producing this week's Focal Point segment.
Up next, Jake with Laker Sports.
And later, we'll give you some info on the dodgeball tournament.
Hey Laker Nation, I'm Jake Burnett. We start this week in sports with a disappointing end to the basketball season. Last Saturday, the McCracken County Mustangs rode past Calloway County with a 55-48 win in the opening round of the first regional tournament, bringing the Laker season to a screeching halt. As the game started, the Lakers grabbed the ball out of the tip-off and started what they knew would be a hard game to play. But with Parker Atkinson making shots like this one, we all thought they may turn the game around. But with the game filled with fouls, it was hard for the Lakers to keep their head held high. With the Lakers playing catch-up all game, the game ended with a score of 48-55, sending the Mustangs to the semifinal rounds of regionals. After the Mustangs took a victory over us, they continued to destroy Graves and Marshall counties, taking the regional championship on Tuesday night. That sends McCracken County to the Rupp Arena in Lexington next week for a shot at the state championship. Now that basketball season is over, Mr. Lovelace is starting a new archery club here at Calloway County, and he hopes it will pick up interest quite quickly. In fact, here's an informational meeting today after school, and Coach Lovelace says anyone and everyone is invited.
It's just going to be an informational meeting, pretty simple, quick, just to gauge interest, see how many people I'm going to have that are going to be interested in it, talk about the meeting times, what we'll be doing. And
I see you have a bow in your hand. Is that the kind of equipment we're going to be shooting?
This is the Matthews Genesis bow. It's recurve. You can see that it's stripped down, no sights, nothing but an arrow rest and a knocking point. The thing about these bows is they're infinite draw, so you don't have to fit them to any specific size person. And then also they're low poundage, so we can accommodate anyone of any strength. So it makes it pretty nice.
Do you think you'll have a lot of kids show up this Friday?
I don't know. I figured I might have 30, 40. Somebody said, no, you'll have way more than that. And then other people are like, no, not on a Friday afternoon. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it, though.
Now remember, the meeting is this afternoon at 3:10 in Mr. Lovelace's room. That's all for sports this week. Now back to Kayla and Mason.
Thanks, Jake.
You know, Mason, I think the Hunger Games series has helped fuel some new interest in the sport of archery these days.
Oh, yeah? Well, the project graduation organizers are hoping this next video segment will help fuel some interest in their upcoming dodgeball tournament. Take a look.
All right, we're about to play a game of dodgeball right here. This class has no idea what we're about to do, what's in store for them. Basically, we're going to give them a sneak preview of what's going to happen. March 18th, Tuesday, Jeffrey Gymnasium, dodgeball tournament. Be there, be square. CCHS Project Graduation is hosting the dodgeball tournament this Tuesday, March 18th.
At 5:30 in the gym.
There are going to be 6 players in the team. Basically, each player has to pay $5 for entry, which would be $30 per team of 6. If you're in the final 2 teams, you get to basically play a game with the teachers, the faculty playing against you. You can go to the sponsoring teachers, which would be Miss Hoback, Miss Simmons, or Miss Ritchie, and they have forms that you can fill out to be part of the dodgeball tournament.
CCHS and CCHS Project Graduation are not responsible for any injury received during the tournament. Please play cautiously.
In addition to that dodgeball game, there's an upcoming volleyball tournament that the SGA will be hosting here in the CCH gym to support the American Red Cross on March 27th and 28th. All entry forms must be turned in by March 24th at 3:30 p.m. If you have any questions, contact Ms. Hobbs in room 203.
Lakers, Callaway Idol gave musically talented students an opportunity to showcase their skills in front of the entire school. In case you were not present for the event, here's what went down.
The Friday before last kicked off Calloway County's 8th annual Callaway Idol. And those who attended the event know that we had many talented students participate. But this year's winner was actually a returning contestant from last year.
Well, I entered last year and I just wanted to take another shot at it.
They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and I know I'm
While I was on stage, I felt really nervous and I got embarrassed because I messed up. But then everybody started cheering, so it made me feel better. When I was announced winner, I was really excited and surprised.
Reagan was voted the 2014 Calloway Idol winner. Laker TV would like to thank the Beta Club for sponsoring this event, as well as all students who participated, and congratulate Miss Reagan Boren. On behalf of Laker TV, I'm Chief Producer Jacob Garland.
That's it for this week's show. I hope you all get an opportunity to go outside and enjoy this weather. You could go jogging or ride a bike.
Or go swimming.
Really, Mason, I don't even think the public pool's open yet.
But my pool's open.
Okay, well, I think that's enough for this week. See you next time, Lakers.